I have been covering Quen models for quite some time now. I can say one thing for sure that with every release, the quality of these models is increasing. Quite recently, they have released this Quen 1.5, which is the beta version of Quen 2 and a transformer based decoder only language model pre trained on a large amount of data. When we say decoder only, it means that a model is a type of model used in NLP and it takes encoded input such as sequence of tokens and generates an output sequence which is a translated text based on learned probability distribution and decoding strategies. So Quen 1.5 is a decoder only language model. In comparison with the previous released Quen, there are a lot of improvements. For example, there are 8 model sizes including zero point 0.5 billion, 1.8 billion parameter, 4 billion, 7 billion, 14 and 32 and 72 billion dense models and a mixture of expert model of 14 billion with 2.7 billion activated. As far as human preference for chat model is concerned, there has been a lot of improvement in this new model. It also has a multilingual support for both base and chat models. It has a stable support of 32K context length for all model sizes. So 1.5 has decoded language model of different sizes. For each size, they have released the base language model and the aligned chat model. It is based on the transformer architecture with Twiglu activation, attention queue, KV bias, group query attention, mixture of sliding window attention, and full attention. Also, they have an improved tokenizer adaptive to multiple natural languages and codec. For the beta version, they haven't included GQA and the mixture of SWA and full attention at the moment. They have pre-trained the model with large amount of data and post-trained the model with both supervised fine-tuning and direct preference optimization or TPO. They also have released the code, and there might be some issues while running some of their models, and they have put the detail in Hugging Face model card, and I will drop the link in video's description. And now in this video, I will be installing this Quen 1.5 72 billion model in quantized format on my local Windows system, and then we will test it out this model on various prompts. So the tool which I'm going to use for this purpose is LM Studio. I already have downloaded it, so just launch LM Studio, type Quen 1.5. You can just go with 1.5 here, and then you will see there is a 72 billion GGUF format here on your screen. Let me make it a bit bigger. So there is already quantized version. I have downloaded this Q2 quantization, and some of the partial GPU offload is possible. It's even in the quantized version, it is quite a big model. So make sure that you have plenty of resources. I have 32 GB of memory, plus I have 20 GB VRAM GPU, 1 GPU on this machine. And now I already have downloaded it. Let's go to this chat icon, and you can see that it is already loaded the model, and I am offloading 10 layers to GPU. As you can see here, I cannot offload everything to GPU unfortunately due to the system resource crunch. Okay, so let's try out few of the prompts. So the first prompt I'm asking is that a self-driving car must choose between swerving to avoid hitting a pedestrian, potentially harming the passenger, or staying its course. Discuss the ethical consideration from both perspectives. Now this is a chat tuned model, but let's see. And the speed will be slow, of course, because um, I'm just offloading 10 layers to GPU. And on the top left, you can already see that more than 28 GB out of my 32 GB is consumed, and of course I need some memory for operating system too. And CPU usage is also very high, just under 50%. So let's wait for it to finish producing the answer, and then we will review it. Okay, so after a long wait, model has created the answer at last, but the answer is quite qualitative. So if you look at it, It has given the answer on the basis of perspective from both passenger and the vehicle, the self-autonomous one. So you can see that it started with a very good introduction, very compact one. Then it is talking about few of the aspects of perspective like safety, trust, programmed versus human decision making, and then it is talking about the perspective of pedestrian, the duty to protect unintentional harm, utilitarianism, and then also what I really loved about it, its final uh, closing paragraph where it is balancing out both of consideration, and then it is saying that ultimately the goal is to develop an ethical framework that minimizes harm in these difficult situations while maintaining public trust in autonomous technology. How good is that? Let's ask it another question, and I'll try to make it short. So I'm asking it, explain the concept of happiness to an entity that cannot feel emotions. Keep it short and use a metaphor. Let's see. Let's see. Let's wait for model to produce the response and then we will go through it. The model has come up with a response, and look at the compactness but and the completeness of this response. Model is saying happiness can be thought of a measure of satisfaction or well-being, like how a well-oiled machine functions smoothly. How good is that? It represents a state of contentment and positive experience in sentient beings. Though non emotional entities would not directly relate to this feeling, for them, imagine a computational system where happiness corresponds to optimal performance and efficient operation. As it's a chat model, so let's chat a bit. So I'm asking it, what is a sentient being in one line? And apologies for the slow speed, but it has just one GPU as I explained earlier. So let's wait for it to print it. Or meanwhile it prints it, let me show you some of its benchmarking information. So if you look at this um, blog post from their GitHub repo of Quen, you can see that the performance of this model is quite good on all the traditional benchmarks, including MMLU 5 shot, CEVAL, Humans Eval, GS8K, BBH. So MMLU is a benchmark for few shot learning in language models, and it evaluates their ability to generalize with a limited training example. 5 shot mean that it was used on few labeled examples, and then we have C-eval, which focuses on assessing the coherence and coherence aware generation of LMs, whereas we also have human eval, which evaluates language models based on human-like qualities such as common sense reasoning and empathy. And then we have something like GS8K or GSM 8K, which is primarily or around reasoning and vocabulary coverage and that sort of word prediction, that sort of thing. BBH is to generate coherent and contextually appropriate responses. But all in all, you can see, for example, on MMLU, Quen has beaten almost every other model except GPT-4. But if you look at, for example, on the other benchmarks such as CEVAL, so Quen has even beaten GPT-4. But on all benchmarks, Quen 1.5 72 billion has outperformed Llama to 70 billions. And so it's what it's saying is that it is really good when it comes to understanding the reasoning. And I will drop the link to this blog post in video's description because there is a lot of good information scattered throughout it. Let's see where our LM Studio is still working. So let's wait for it to come back. Hopefully it doesn't crash on me. So guys, it has produced a response after a long time that a sentient being is an entity capable of experiencing sensation. So a really great model. I think as usual, as I said at the start of the video, Quen models are improving a lot, and hopefully they will keep improving, and we would be able to see more and more of it because we definitely need more and more competition when it comes to multilingual and open source models so that there will be no monopoly. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're already subscribed, then please do me a favor and share it among your network as it helps a lot. Thanks for watching.